What is up, world? What is up, world? What is up, world? You are in tune to the KnoItAllz. Of course, it's your boy Mod. And really, it's a segment, man, that I really wanted to jump into. Um, as I'm starting to go through draft content, and that I'm starting to just look over the Steelers and see what you guys have going on. One of the things that I've noticed, man, on a real level is everybody has strong opinions. Everybody has strong opinions on what's going on, and I think basically, if you're a real Steelers fan, you have this opinion, and then there are the other fans that have that opinion, and you need somebody who is not as close to painting as you are to actually step back and look at certain things. And then the other thing I think that makes me a really good source of information is your head coach, the last team that he coached happens to be my team, the Cowboys. An unbiased opinion, man, it's just football talk from a different perspective. We're diving into Steeler Nation, the moves, the drama, the culture, expectations from all points of view from a fan that is a fan of football and who's not a fan of the Steelers. But make no mistake, there's no hating, there's no trolling. I'm not going to do that. We're going to talk from a football standpoint and we're going to break it down. We're going to call it fair. We're going to keep it unbiased. So welcome into the unbiased opinion live here at the KnoItAllz. And it's your boy Mark giving it to you. Man, we're going to get this thing started here in just 1 second. Just a few housekeeping things. Make sure that you like and subscribe. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe on YouTube and Twitch. So when we go live, you will definitely get those notifications. And then on top of that, man, make sure that if you're not a member of the KnoItAll Nation, just be a part, man. Be a member. There's some cool stuff there, some stuff that we're talking about, backstage content. I am working diligently today on all draft stuff. I'm looking at film. I'm breaking stuff down. I'm looking at a free agency. I'm talking all kind of stuff. So yeah, man, today is that day where I'm gonna be on top of everything. What is up, man? Steel Dog, what's popping, my G? Of course, super chats are wide open, man. You read super chat. You give a super chat. Definitely your comment will get up on screen. Hello, Amy. How are you today? Look, I'm here for you guys. You can feel free to ask me any question you would like to ask, and definitely, I'm here to give my unbiased opinion on certain things in Steeler Nation and just what's going on in football altogether. Like I said, this is unbiased opinion, man. Let's talk about it. First thing I want to talk about really is Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy as the new Steelers head coach. And the coaches that he's done put around you guys. I think number one, when we start talking about the coaches that's being put around him, he's putting in his guys, and some of them are recycled, some of them are new, most of them are recycled. And here's the thing that you got to know about Mark McCarthy. This is the thing that I'm really worried about when I talk McCarthy to anybody else. Hey, Christine, how you doing? What's up? When I talk Mike McCarthy to anybody else, the thing I always talk about, the thing that just was a thorn in my side as he was a Cowboy fan, time management. He was the worst time manager ever. Like, I don't know if you guys remember against San Francisco in the playoffs. The playoffs in Dallas is kind of one of those things, man. You make the playoffs, you got to make the most of it. And, everybody calls that Dak Prescott, but there was a point in the game where Buddy took a timeout when he didn't have to. You know what I'm saying? You take the penalty. You don't take the timeout. The yardage that we were going to lose wasn't going to matter anyway because it was third and long. And he took that timeout, and we didn't have a timeout at the end of the game, right? So because we didn't have a timeout at the end of the game, we ended up being toast when it really mattered. We had just got a first down. We really need to be able to take a timeout. We were inside the 20. We could have scored. We didn't. Could have was a wish, right? And then there were other things that he had did throughout his time and tenure in Dallas. That time management is an issue, right? I do believe, I talk to G about this all the time. I do believe that when we start talking about when we start talking about Mike McCarthy, one of the bigger issues too that he inherited now is the lack of wide receiver production. Now, so G talked about these choice routes. Why is that important? Why are choice routes important? Number one, it relies upon shotgun. There's no pre-snap motion, right? Um, right. Yeah, Christine. Big part of winning the game is controlling the clock. So that's a concern of mine as well. Yeah. So it's, I mean, when I'm thinking about Mike McCarthy, that's my first concern, right? But okay, so he didn't inherit a wide receiver room, right? We don't know if Rodgers is coming back at all. So that's the thing we'll talk about later on, and we'll definitely I'll accept questions on that. But you know, in the I do believe there's 12 draft picks, right? I believe in my heart of hearts that you should package those. You should package pick number 99 through 159, I think it is, and package them, try to move up and get you another third or another second round pick, right? Washington would definitely do it with you. Washington, if you look at the Commanders only have 4 picks throughout the whole draft, and they have a second round pick at number 71. You could take that second round, give them those other picks, right? You give them those other picks, and you get you another second round pick. And although you're losing 3 at the bottom, you know, it's like I said, I've said this all along. It doesn't matter how many picks you got. It matters where those picks are, right? You need to be able to pick where the talent is. So I think Pittsburgh should definitely package and go up to see if they could get one of these wide receivers that'll be available in the second and the third. I don't know that Tyson is going to fall to 21. I don't know that at all. I know Carnell Tate's going to be gone, right? You don't have to reach because, like I said, there's going to be some guys there in the second and the third that you could really get and that would help the program. But I honestly, trading or picking up a free agent would be the move for me. At least get one, right? At least get one free agent wide receiver that's out there. My brother, Big G, that's my real brother. If you guys don't know, that's my real brother. I know he's a little lighter. I'm a little darker, but that's my brother. Trading or picking up a free agent is priority, and my brother loves Alec Pierce. I do too. I think Alec Pierce is good, right? If you get Aaron Rodgers to come back, right? And if Khalil, what's up? Khalil, what's popping? If you get Aaron Rodgers to come back, right? And Aaron Rodgers does come back, I think he would appreciate having a vet at wide receiver. Aaron just is not one of those guys. Yes, I saw that, bro. I saw that. They released Tyreek Hill. But is he going to bounce back from his injury? We don't know what Cheetah's going to look like. Is he still going to be the Cheetah, or is he going to be a house cat? You know what I'm saying? I mean, Craig, great comment, great thought. But, you know, it's Tyreek Hill, and his game is predicated on speed, quickness, and agility moves. Is he still going to be that same guy? You got to ask yourself that question. But anyway, like I said, Alec Pierce, a guy, right? I think that's a guy that we should be thinking about for the Steelers, and I think we should be thinking about him really heavy. My brother doesn't like when I say this, but if you bring Aaron Rodgers back, Mike Evans is a guy. First of all, you need somebody who's going to be open. You need somebody who, if the line breaks down, Aaron could just throw it up. He loves that kind of receiver who he could trust, and he could count on him to win a 50-50 ball. Guess who could do that? Mike Evans. You know what I mean? Mike Evans is that type of guy. Everybody, I hear these rumors, and I'm hearing through the rumor mill, hey, man, trade to get A.J. Brown. I don't know that I like A.J. Brown with DK Metcalf, right? Somebody got to get open. And A.J. Brown, to me, is Well, DK Metcalf is a lot like AJ Brown in the sense that they're open on they're open on go routes, they're open on those 50-50 balls, but I don't see them going across the middle a lot. Either one of them, I don't see them going across the middle a lot at all, right? Um, Craig said, I'd rather have Evans or Pierce way before time. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Like, I mean, when you think about it, you Tyreek is a smaller wide receiver, a smaller target, and Aaron Rodgers don't. If he's coming back, he don't particularly like those guys, right? He don't particularly like those guys. Um, and if I'm being real about it, right? If I'm being real about it, there's a couple of trades that I would like before I get to AJ Brown, and we'll talk about that here in a second. Christian Kirk, free agent. I don't know. You know, Tank Dell is rehabbing and coming back faster than most people know, right? And I've seen videos of Tank Dell, and I've seen him working, right? And Tank Dell will be back. So I don't know if Houston is going to sign back Christian Kirk. And if Christian Kirk is available, that's a guy who can get open, right? Here's the deal. On the other side from DK Metcalf, you need someone who can get open against man coverage. You don't have that guy right now. You know, and that will help any quarterback that's in the quarterback room for the Pittsburgh Steelers is a wide receiver who can beat man coverage. You don't have it, right? He said, Steel Dog, what's up, my bruh? He said, even off-field issues, I would take a chance and a flyer on Addison. Come on, man. I mean, they're little guys, but they're experienced wide receivers, right? We want to look forward in the draft and say, hey, these are my guys that I would draft, and I'm going to give you those guys before I get off. And like I said, ask me questions. Ask me questions because I'm here to give you my unbiased opinion, right? It's just my unbiased opinion from an onlooker, from somebody who really respects the logo on the side of the helmet and who loves the game of football, right? So ask me a question, I'll definitely answer it. Romeo Doubs is a guy who I think he may be a little older. Okay, wears the little foam on top. You know, tells me he's having problems with concussion or don't want to have concussions. Well, Romeo Doubs is a guy who can get open. You know, he's a guy who can get open. Now, I told you earlier, Craig said Steelers need to sign at least one free agent and draft two out. Absolutely, my guy. That's what I would be doing in a minute. She said, "Big head, bobblehead." It just tells me that he's struggling with concussions. When you keep that on, that's something that they have on during training camp to keep them from getting concussions, and they just keep it on your helmet if you're struggling with concussion. I wish they had them back when I was playing. I wouldn't have had the 8 that I had. You know what I'm saying? I'm bless God that I have CTE, man. But yeah, definitely. If we're gonna trade, and we've had this conversation, and I said it early, and G is starting to kind of turn around a little bit. G is starting to turn around and hear what I'm saying, but he feels like that Watt won't be the one that be traded, and I'm telling him, bro. I would trade JJ Watt. I mean TJ Watt. I would trade him in a minute. And it's only because of the reason that I'm saying at this point, he's long in the tooth. People are going to take a flyer on him, and a team like what I'm finna say, a team who I'm about to say, I think will really take a flyer on TJ Watt, and that is Chicago. I think you would be able to get TJ off to Chicago for DJ Moore. They want to they want to move from DJ Moore. DJ Moore is a receiver who could get open, right? And, you know, he's an experienced wide receiver, somebody who Rodgers would love working with, right? Because he's experienced. He knows what to do. I mean, when he had no quarterback, he was getting open. He was the only wide receiver over there. And then when he was at Carolina, come on, I mean, you know what I'm saying? He didn't have nobody, but he was still doing this thug thizzle. He said if Rodgers doesn't come back, I think Roman Wilson will be a non-factor again. He said if Rodgers does come back, Roman Wilson will be a non-factor. He doesn't like small wide receivers. He doesn't like them. You think about it, and then let's couple that with Mike McCarthy, right? Mike McCarthy doesn't too much like small wide receivers. Michael Gallup, Amari Cooper, C.D. Lamb, Sedarius Lamb. You look at my guy guys, I set up here and forgot his name, and I was gonna bring him up because he's a free agent. Jalen Tolbert. Jalen Tolbert is a free agent this year, right? And him being a free agent, that's another wide receiver that I think, he's a 3. He's definitely a 3, but he'll give you experience in the wide receiver room. I think somebody you should look at. Just my unbiased opinion. He had big gains for Dallas. He did. But, we're moving on. We're stepping on in a different direction. We got some youngsters. And, of course, we got Pickens. And definitely, I think it's just time for us to move on from him. Craig said, think the Rams or the 49ers would be interested in TJ. Not so much the Rams. Not so much the Rams. Ooh, not so much the Rams. I don't think so. 49ers maybe, but they're an older team in general, right? So I don't look at them saying, hey, y'all want this older guy? You know what I'm saying? Like most of the time, teams are and I mean Shanahan's a progressive guy, so teams are looking to mix the old with the new, so that you got Bosa over on one side, so having Watt over on the other side will give you what you like to have, pass rushers who smell blood in the water and go get it. But yeah, I don't know about that one. It's a good idea, Craig, but I don't know about that. The problem is there are probably only a few teams that would be able to absorb TJ's contract. Yep, absolutely. But with the age of salary cap and the way that it is, salary cap really doesn't exist. It doesn't exist at all, right? I want you to know something. They're able to do these blank years and kind of stuff money at the end of the contract, or give a signing bonus and move the money that they were supposed to pay you that year to another. So they can do it. Teams can do it. It's just a matter if they want to do it, right? So when he said, I'm already going through football blues. Weekends are no, it's not. Christine said that's why I don't think we would even try to get Lemon because of his size. You know what? I'm gonna tell you something. Not getting Malachi Lemon because of his size would be you're right? But I'm gonna tell you the truth though. It would be one of those things that would be a mistake. Like I said, Caleb Downs, I told you this. I said Caleb Downs is a player that you can't overthink, because he's one of those guys, right? I think when you look at Lemon, he's one of those guys. Malachi Lemon on 50-50 balls, he's gonna catch it. He's got range and a catch radius that's unbelievable. And if Rodgers throws him the ball and he catches it the first time in practice, it's a continual thing, Rodgers ain't gonna worry about his size. He ain't gonna worry about it. And that's a sure-handed wide receiver, Christine. He's a sure-handed. I mean, it's a great question, and great point, right? But I still think that Malachi Lemon is a guy. He's a dude. He's somebody that you really want to look into, and you want to say, oh, okay, this guy will boost my receiver room. And he really will. He really will. I mean, if I needed a wide receiver, he'd be one of the first ones that I would look at, because he's got all of the traits that you would want. He's a poor man's version of Garrett Wilson, right? Poor man's version of Garrett Wilson. think it would be a mistake for the Steelers to not get Herbert signed to? Absolutely. Let me tell you something. Big G talks about this all the time. He talks about this all the time. You know what I'm saying? When you are supposed to get that second contract, you need to get that thing on the books. You don't need to wait to the end because when you do, waiting only postpones the inevitable. And you don't want to know what the inevitable is? Inevitable is somebody at that position is going to get signed and push the market up. So you want to get people when the market is low so that you can get the most bang for your buck. That's something that you want to do. Jerry Jones is, I'm going to tell you, Jerry Jones really don't, he does, Jerry Jones does the most. I mean, it really frustrates me how Jerry will wait to the 25th hour. There's only 24 hours in the day, but Jerry will wait to the 25th hour to sign somebody. And it's like, Jerry, come on, bro. Like, sign him. You costing us extra money and anxiety all at the same time, brother. Please sign him. You know what I mean? Christine said, because Rodgers doesn't like small wide receivers. You're so right about that. That's why I think Roman never gets a shot. I agree, although Lemon is great. We would get him. If we got him, I would be ecstatic. Yeah. And you should be. You should be. I like Denzel Boston. I like Boston a lot, right? And if he runs a 4-4, oh my God, Steel Dog, you so right. He loves the attention, brother. If Boston is there, you run the card up. You run the card up. That's a guy, and he runs a 4-4. Hey, you don't even run the car up. You get one of them golf carts and you roll it up, flip it over, getting to the podium with the card. Because definitely you need that. He was in my first mock. Absolutely, Tate. You know what you're talking about. So Denzel Boston's a guy. I don't like KC Concepcion for the reason we talked about and Christine brought up with me, and we were talking about okay, yeah, we're gonna talk about that. Give me a second. For the reason we were talking about, he does not. Makai Lemon has the better catch radius, and he has, like I said, he's a poor man's Garrett Wilson. He's gonna catch every freaking thing you throw to him. It just is what it is. KC Concepcion really has to be open, and he doesn't have the catch radius. But when he gets the ball in his hands, he's dangerous. But you know, I look at him more of what's the guy's name at Baltimore? He's more of that type of wide receiver at Baltimore. KC Concepcion is. When he gets the ball in his hands, he's dangerous, but he doesn't have a really good catch radius. Stu Bus Driver said, unbiased, best pick would be another O lineman in the first round. If hear me out. If you don't trade or make a move and Spencer Fano is there at 21, run the dang card up there. Getting another tackle, and me, G, and Tate talked about the, Tate, Zay Flowers. Me, G, and Tate talked about this. We talked about it extensively. Francis Manunga is just a tick better. I mean, they're the same height, but Spencer Fanu, he is a guy who really thrives in wide zone and outside zone schemes, right? Stuff that Mike McCarthy's going to be running. You want Fanu. So I would take Fanu in a minute, right? I would take Fanu in a minute. I would take him, and if he's draft pick number 21, Steeler Nation shouldn't be upset about that. Because, you know, you could take your current guard, Broderick Jones or whoever that is. I mean, current tackle, Broderick Jones, whoever that is, flip him down the guard. And then you have a solid tackle who's going to be playing in the NFL and be all pro for at least 4 or 5 years in a row. The guy is like that. Fanu is like that. I mean, he really is like that. Craig, I think Dallas would try to sign James Pierre to help their DB if the Steelers don't. Great question, man. No. I think the Cowboys are really set on what they want to do as far as that draft pick is concerned. If we don't trade down to get Caleb Downs, McCoy, and the guy from LSU are in the mix. Delane, Mansour Delane. Those are the two guys that we have our eyes on. Christian wants young guys. He wants young guys. If you look at his staff, they're all young, and you look at what he did with Philadelphia, it was all young guys that came in and made that Philadelphia secondary something to be rivaled with, right? So I don't think that James Pierre, not because of his play on the field. I just think that, when it looked like, I think the Cowboys in the market for Nahshon Wright. If you guys don't pick Nahshon Wright up, if the Steelers don't pick Nahshon Wright up from Chicago, because he was with Al, and I don't know if he's going to sign back with Al again. But again, it may happen, right? It may happen. He might sign with Al, and with Chicago, just to be with Al Harris again, because Al Harris is a guy who's really helped out his career and helped him become the person that he is. I mean, he started to thrive in Dallas, but he's becoming better as time went on. What type of extension should JPJ get from the man? I do think they should extend him. But let me ask you guys, the thing about JPJ, has he reached the ceiling yet? Do you think that JPJ is as good as he's ever going to be? That's my question. He's definitely a guy that you retain. You definitely retain him. But I need to ask you guys, he may be a little bit too grabby. Sometimes I feel like he's a little too sticky and he gets penalties he shouldn't get, because, it's okay to be sticky, but you can't be grabby, right? So, so my thought process here is if I'm going to extend him, if he's trying to break the bank, I don't keep him, right? If he wants to break the bank, I don't extend for an extended period of time, because I feel like his ceiling has been reached, or he's really close to his ceiling. That's my thought on JPJ. Christine Black and Gold says, if it was me, it would be so hard not to take Cade McDonald in the first round. I get that. He's definitely a piece. He's a piece. Stu Bus Driver said, everyone's searching for a QB without the understanding an O-line will learn, protect. I got what you're saying. I got what you're saying. Definitely. Christine said they need to pay the man his money. JPJ balling, and I don't think he's reached the ceiling. Okay, I like it. Stu Bus Driver said JPJ is base. Tate said wide receiver more important than O-line. If one of the top four is there, we already spent first round in 2 to 3 years. Got it. Craig Warlow said, I think he can get better, meaning he could catch the dang ball. Dropped too many interceptions. Yes, he did. JPJ is going to be elite. Pay him market now. He deserves more than Trayvon Diggs got. JPJ got more ceiling. You know what, Tate? I'm going to tell you this. And I'm going to say this publicly. The thing about Trey was good when Al was there, right? Trey need Al. And the reason why I say there are certain players who are great in good concept systems, and he needs a system where he's not he's focused on the outside boundary and the out route. You know what I'm saying? It's not playing man, playing predominantly zone. In a zone covered defense, he's the man, right? Because he has quick twitch muscles. He's just rehabbing. I think he'd be able to protect the out, and I think he'd be able to cover the outside hash. If you could cover that outside boundary, he'd be fine. And Diggs is, I think JPJ is more of a person who can actually cover in man. Like I said, he's sticky. He's really sticky. He's one of those players that you like because he's gonna stick to the wide receiver, and he can play zone. So I would agree that his ceiling is higher than Diggs. I would agree I would agree wholeheartedly. I would definitely agree wholeheartedly. He said, not just over put Tate in the Matrix. I don't think Tate deserves the Matrix yet, man. I think he's really good. Elite transcend scheme. You're absolutely right. JPJ is like a young Tyler, very similar. Tyler, talk to me about that. Matthew said, I wonder who gets Tyreek Hill. Somebody who's not thinking, right? He's going to have a wonder-filled workout. Like, nobody's just going to take – I'm going to tell you right now, with all of the off-field issues Tyreek was having before he got hurt, nobody's taking a flyer on Tyreek Hill until he proves that he could play football. If he proves that he could play football, I think they'll take a flyer on him. But I mean, at this point, it's name only. And we figured that we've done this before. Antonio Brown. We've done this before. Plexico Burress. We've done this before. We're just a name only. And all you got out of those people were name when they went to their next team. Right? You want to make sure that, well, not so much Antonio. Antonio Brown with Tom Brady was pretty decent. But again, like I said, Tyreek is gonna have to be able to prove that he could play. Stu, gotta go. Good show. Lunch break is over. Thank you for being a part of the chat and talking with me, brother. But like I said, man, I mean, again, this is your show. Ask me any question you feel we'll definitely answer it. Oh, okay. Ike Taylor. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I think he's better than Ike Taylor. Tate hit the nail on the head when he said, that JPJ is gonna be a really elite. He has elite talent. He got the elite traits. Let's just say that. He has elite traits, man, and he has the bloodline. Because if you look at his father was a dog. So I mean, I look at all of the things here, and I'm saying, okay, he can be an elite player in this league. I just want him to not be so grabby, just very grabby on the edge, man. I mean, and we can't win like in a pass happy NFL league. You can't win like that. You can't win like that at all, man. He said this opinion is so biased. I don't believe it's biased, man. I mean, it's just I'm talking football, man. X's and O's point of view, right? X's and O's point of view. I think Joey Porter Jr. has elite talent, and I think he will be a really good cornerback. But I think his ceiling is we creeping up on his ceiling though. We creeping up on his ceiling. He's better than Ike was a 4th round pick, more talented, but Ike is his uncle. Yeah, he's his uncle. Now, back to what I was saying as far as the wide receivers is concerned. If you don't move, you don't trade any picks, bro. There are a plethora of wide receivers. I told you, G don't like him. I'm gonna start with the person that G don't like, and that's Chris Bradley the second, or the third. Excuse me. He's 6'5". He's gonna run a 4.4. They say he runs a 4.52. He's gonna run a 4.4 in the combine, right? 6'5", 4.42, and he doesn't have an extensive route tree. But what you need somebody who's gonna take the top off of a defense, right? You need that. You need somebody who, if Rodgers threw it up, he can go get it. You know what I'm saying? So I like Chris Bradley, and he's gonna be there in the third, He's going to be there late second, early third. That's a receiver I think, would definitely benefit the Steelers. Malachi Fields. Really love Malachi Fields, bro. Love Malachi Fields in this draft. Why? 6'4". He will go 4'4". I mean, 4'4" is the bench. Let me tell you something. 4'4" is a benchmark. Is Brown combative? Is Brown, who we talking about? Tell me who Brown. We'll talk about that. 4'4" is the benchmark for a wide receiver in the combine, right? If we're talking you want your wide receiver, you want your wide receiver to run a 4'4", at least, right? Especially in the NFL. And I mean, sometimes that 4'4" is faster when they're getting pads. In game speed, some people are faster in game speed, but you want at least a 4'4", right? You want at least a 4'4". Ted Hurst. Ted Hurst is another guy who, small college kid, right? Small college kid, but Ted Hurst he's from Georgia State, 6'3", 207. Ted Hurst gonna run a 4'4". He's gonna run a 4'4". He's gonna run maybe a low 4'4". I don't think he gets to 4'3", but hey man, 6'3", 4'3", 6'3", 4'4". I like it, man. I like it for real. I love it. And we're talking about Brown. I'm trying to figure out which Brown are we talking about, wide receiver, from where? We don't have a popular Brown in this draft. So help me and help me, and we'll talk about it. Definitely want to. Tyron Montgomery. Tyron Montgomery is a guy who you can get in he said 6'5". Where's Brown out of, Tommy? I don't see Brown in here. Okay, Tyron Montgomery, 6'1", 4'5", former basketball player. I'm gonna tell you something about basketball players. Their release, a basketball player, wide receiver, their release is difficult for a sticky cornerback or a cornerback who loves to punch you on the line. Difficult for them to get a hold of because it's like a crossover. It's like Allen Iverson crossover. Bam, bam. It happens so fast. And when you're trying to punch as a cornerback to get the wide receiver off his route or off his mark, when he's getting off the line to stop his release, that's important. And this guy made defensive backs, some of the best defensive backs in the country, look kind of shady in the Shrine Bowl. Made them look real average. You know what I'm saying? He was mossing people. If I made a video about it here on the KnoItAllz channel, make sure you check that out. But I'm gonna tell you something. He was mossing people in the Shrine Bowl. I like him. Man, hey, Tommy, I want to know who this Brown is. So, maybe I missed him and I didn't do any tape on it. Yeah, I agree with Big G. I'm not really up on Brazil too much. I actually think Tyson may drop because of that injury. I like Ted Hurst too. Ted Hurst is a dog. Ted Hurst is a dog. Nah, man, Tommy, it ain't even your bad, bro. If you tell me who it is, man, I will definitely have some opinions, and I will definitely go get some tape on him. And next week we will talk about it. I promise you. Ma, will Dak finish his career in Dallas? Yes. Dakota Rain Prescott will stay a Cowboy until the day he go. You know what I'm saying? I think when we talk about Dakota, he is the face of the franchise right now. He's the reason why you can say everything you want. George Pickens has never had a quarterback like Dak Prescott. CeeDee Lamb became CeeDee Lamb because of Dakota. You know what I mean? And Jerry Jones, although Dak and his agent ruffled Jerry Jones' feathers, Jerry ain't letting go of Dak. Cash cow. He will not let go of Dak at all. And when we talk about Tyson, um, will drop because of the injury, I don't think so. I think you're right on one sense, but I don't think so. Everybody loves Jay. He's like the darling of the wide receivers. I mean, they're putting him in front of Cornell Tate at this moment. I'm seeing a whole bunch of people's mock drafts, and it's like, I'm confused. Like, I think Tyson is one of the better wide receivers in this draft. And just like we said about the draft next year and this year about Fernando Mendoza, like this year he's number 1, but next year he would have been like number 16. You know what I'm saying? I'm just tripping. Like number 6, really. He'd have been like number 6. Tyson in next year's draft has Jeremiah Smith, Ryan Wingo, Ryan Williams. He wouldn't have been in the top 5, 6. You know what I'm saying? Because those are wide receivers that's going to come and set the league on fire. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at it, I'm saying in my mind and in my heart of hearts, that he's the best that they see this year. I think Cornell Tate is my wide receiver 1 in the draft. All he ever did was get open, and all he ever did was get on the field with dog wide receivers who are in the NFL right now. You know what I mean? And he shared the spotlight, and he still was able to produce. He was still able to get open, and that's, to me, that's a big thing. You have, like I said earlier, you have to be able to get open against man-to-man coverage. And the thing, another thing, Christine and Tate, about Brazzle, he's probably going to play your slot. So you got a 6'5" guy who's going to be able to get open against a slot corner, because the slot corner is probably going to be a lot shorter than your main boundary corner, right? You put him on that guy, he's able to post him up, do what he needs to do. And then if you're running flies, he's going to take the lid off the defense. Because even if you have a safety over, hopefully Pittsburgh will get a second wide receiver. So if you have a safety, he's going to be shading the wide receiver 2. Wide receiver 1, DK over here, you got a safety split. Unless if they're playing double high safeties. If they're playing single high safety, then the safety's going to lean to the route in which, or the strong side, the route in which is going to be the longest. He's the deepest man on the field at all times. But even so, Chris Brazzle has the speed to beat single high safety. That's why I like him. You know what I'm saying? That's why I love him, man. Yeah, Brazzle, that's what I was talking about. That's what I was talking about. Yeah. Sorry for my Texas accent. But Brazzle has the speed, the speed to beat single high. And if you have a safety that's coming over to give help on, and he's coming down, Brazzle can, if you run him on a skinny post, your safeties are in trouble, bro. Because, I mean, he got the speed to beat defenses like that. I like Brazzle. I really do. I like him. I like him a lot, man. I really do like him a lot. Craig said, if you could go back in time, would you still? Absolutely. Say it with a straight face. I didn't like the trade when it happened. I did not like the fact that Jerry traded Micah. But hindsight's 2020, bro. When I look at what we got from Micah, and I look at how the team fared after Micah, it wasn't that we were losing. The team attitude was different. Tank, I think Tank would have been, Tank and Micah couldn't exist together. You know what I'm saying? The attitudes are, they clash. We already see that Tank don't like Micah, Micah don't like Tank. You know what I'm saying? And so, that's something that I'm like, okay. I'm thinking to myself, look, Micah may have been the issue. Although Micah's a great talent, Micah may have been the issue as well. And yes, the Dolphins released Chubb as well. Bradley Chubb is gone. He's out of here. That's going to get interesting. That's definitely going to be interesting. Said I feel you on that, Ma. Brazil makes a lot of sense when you put it like that. Yeah, absolutely. Tank is DeMarcus Lawrence. You're right. I have to tell you, those are Dallas terms. DeMarcus Lawrence, who won the Super Bowl with the Seattle Seahawks this year, was a Cowboy last year, and definitely him and Micah didn't get along. What do I think? Hey, so Christine, before I get out of here, I'm gonna talk to you about Branch. He was the last person. Branch is a little guy. He's an itty bitty guy, right? Then let me see. Let me read you his specs real fast because I want to get it right. Let's see here. He's a little fella, like Tate say. Zachariah Branch is 5'10". He's gonna be 5'9". I guarantee you, he's gonna be 5. When they put the measurement on and he got to get out of his shoes, boy, gonna be 5'9". But he runs a 4.35. He's gonna run a 4.3 flat at the combine, 4.32, 4.35 at the combine, right? So he will be able to do for the Steelers if you got him in the second or the third round, or the third or the fourth round. If he's available, he's a value for me. If you get him in the fourth and he's there in the fourth, he's a guy. He's a dude, because you could do what you haven't been able to do. You can do jet sweeps, and Mike McCarthy loves freaking jet sweeps. Look at what he did with Turpin, right? Look at what he did with CD running the jet sweep. Freaking loves those. To a jet sweep, to a wide receiver. You get Zachariah Branch, he's 100, and he's gonna be about 190 pounds, 185, 190 pounds. The guy can get between the numbers and between the tackles for real. And if you got him coming backside when the play is flowing to the right and he's coming back to the left, that's a guy that can hurt you. And you get him out against a linebacker in space, he can really break your back, man. You know what I'm saying? So when you think about it, I like him. He's a gadget guy who I haven't seen that from the Steelers in a while. The Steelers having a real gadget guy, not a guy who you're trying to make a gadget guy, right? But a real gadget guy, a guy that you can use in a way, and you can slip him in packages, and all of a sudden, you get used to Freiermuth hitting you over the middle. You get used to Mount Washington. You get used to DK getting open on the out, and then all of a sudden, you make it look like that same play, and then coming back the other way, you got Zachariah Branch who runs a 4.3. That's to the house, man. So you love stuff like that. She said, that's what I was thinking. He's there in the fourth. We got to jump. Absolutely. Will Tua be traded or cut this year? Cut. Who wants Tua? I'll wait. I'll wait. I don't think this. I love Tua. I love Tua. My brother, Christian brother in the faith. Who wants Tua? If McDaniel can't get the most out of you, who is a offensive guru, who wants Tua? And not only that, here's the other thing with Tua. Tua hurt himself when he started talking and out in the locker room. One thing you don't do in a professional locker room is out your boys in the press. Not as the leader, not as the quarterback. You don't do it. And Tua did that. He did it, and the team turned from that point on. The locker room turned and wasn't into his favor. And as a leader, maybe he could go somewhere else, but honestly, I think he's done. And then on top of that, all of the concussions that he's had. I don't know who that is. Yeah, I know who Freeway Ricky Wells is, the real one, and the rapper. I wonder if we can get Bradle with one of our thirds, or if some team will use them a second on it. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Um, he'll be there. Bradle will be there in the third. I can almost guarantee nobody's gonna take a flyer on Chris until the third, right? I think you're gonna see people like C.J. Daniels move up. I think you're gonna see people like Omar Cooper move up. Ted Hurst gonna move up, right? Those people I think are gonna move up. Jordan Tyson, Carnell Tate, Makai Lemon, Denzel Boston, they're gonna all go first ahead of him. And then Chris Bale is gonna move up. Surratt will move up. I think Antonio and Bernard is definitely gonna move up. And Jacoby Lane. So you're gonna see wide receivers that were ranked below him move above him, right? And I think only just because of the simple fact that they're going to be valued more, not because of the simple fact that not because of but the simple fact that he can't play football. Is I think people are going to value more like the Jacoby Lanes and the Jeremy Barrard because of tape. Chris Bradley's tape is not. So I've been looking at all 22s, you guys, for the last couple of weeks, right? And looking at all 22s, he's gonna beat you deep. You could, just give it time and rain. He's gonna beat you deep. It's gonna happen, right? He's gonna beat your secondary at some point on a deep route. He's gonna catch it and be dancing in the end zone. Problem is, in between, his tape ain't that. His tape ain't that. So everybody else has got better tape, and that's what's gonna, because when the people sit down like this and start looking at tape, rewinding, fast forward, and they really get on your tendencies and start watching what you do as a player and a wide receiver, yeah, I guarantee you, his tape ain't gonna line up. His tape won't line up. I appreciate you guys for being with me, man, and rocking with me. This is my first show. I'm gonna do this weekly at noon. Every week, every Monday, you'll see me here for my unbiased opinion. Come loaded with questions, man. Come loaded with your questions about Steeler Nation, and we'll definitely get into it. This is my unbiased opinion, and I appreciate you guys for rocking with us, man. Make sure that you like and subscribe. Like us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube and Twitch, so when we go live, you'll definitely get those notifications. And also, if you're not and you would like to be a member of KnoItAllz Nation, our memberships are open, and you can definitely. I have draft content out the wazoo coming this week. That will be available this week. Draft content that you won't get nowhere else but here at the KnoItAllz. I mean, real talk. I love watching a lot of the all 22 and cutting it up and giving you my honest opinion about players, because I'm gonna be honest with you. When it comes down to it, a lot of people go off the hype that they're receiving from newscasters and this guy, Mel Kiper and all of them. They're all grouped in, so they'll be really high on a player, really low on this player, but that player is probably the one you should look at. So tape don't lie. When you start cutting on that tape and you start looking at it, tape don't lie. And I got a lot of tape that I want to share with you guys. And if you're a member of KnoItAllz Nation, you're going to get that tape. I'm going to share certain people's tape, and I'm just going to circle certain people. I may not even do a whole speech about the player at all. I might just show you film and put right stuff on there like, hey, outstanding, right? And Makai Lemon is the first piece of film that you're going to get this week as a member. The members will see it in the member channel. Definitely it's going to be there. He said, I too feel like a know-it-all after watching you guys. Thank you. Thank you very much. Great show. Thank you so much. Um, Thank you, Tommy, man. I appreciate you. Craig, appreciate you, man. I'm about to get out of here. Thank you guys for being a part of Know It All Nation. And we'll talk to you soon. All right, now. Peace.